Yeah, great team win tonight. Everybody, I said it in the locker room after the game, everybody who checked in really contributed in a really positive way. Coming off the game that Morgan just had, for him to only shoot 7 shots, like, just really unselfish of him, knowing, hey, this is the way this game is going, and we're trying to win the game. And, these guys here, obviously, Quinn came in and shot lights out. Cian had 10 assists and 1 turnover, which is much more along the lines of how he's capable of playing. So it's great to see, and could go on and on across the board in terms of the contributions by everybody. So I'll let you ask these guys questions, and then you can ask me anything after.
Questions for our student athletes.
Quinn, your third game, is that right here? What's it been like adjusting from the high school game to the college game? And what's your experience been like so far in the opening few games?
It's been a lot different since high school. I mean, guys are a lot faster, a lot stronger, a lot bigger, but, throughout the summer I was able to get adjusted, and I feel like I've adjusted pretty well since playing in high school.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good. And I know sometimes as an athlete you may not want to compare yourself, but honestly, Quinn, when I watch your game, you remind me a lot of Sean Marion, if you remember him from back in the day, especially your shooting form. Is there any guy from now or in basketball history that you try to maybe take some things away from or emulate?
Maybe Peyton Pritchard. I'm an undersized guy, so finding ways to score the ball. I look at him. So.
Hey, Cian, your comment to Quinn, nice shooting bro. What has he really brought to your team in these first 3 games?
Well, I'm gonna get excited for this one. That's my rook, so I'm big excited. I honestly feel like when I was a freshman, he's way better than I was. His confidence level was through the roof. He puts a tremendous amount of work in. He cares about the game. He loves the game. He's a great person. So it's been fun being able to play with him. Being able to call him a brother and stuff like that. So when I was a freshman, I always looked up to the older guys. So it's been fun to be able to take him under my wing. Preseason we always got dinner at least once a week. We always did that. So it's been fun to watch him thrive, grow into the person he's becoming. I think the sky is the limit for him.
This is a game where you guys started out. It looked like you were going to really take control of it early, and they made a big comeback. How were you guys able to close things out tonight?
That's a really good team. So it's always expected for them to go on the run. That's a really good team. They won their league last year. It's picked to win their league this year. So that's a really good team. I just love how we bounced back from every run they went on. We never got too down. We never got too sped up. We just kept our composure, and we just kept playing Kent State basketball.
And then seeing you got 10 assists in this one. What's it like when you see the defenders coming at you? What goes through your mind and how to break down a defense and get your guys a ball for a basket?
Honestly, it's just something that it's just making my read. It's just making sure I see everything on the floor. Just not trying to see a read before it's there. Because sometimes that can get you in a lot of trouble. And today I feel good about today. I haven't been my best. And I just want to thank coach and team for sticking with me through the first 2 games and stuff like that. So it's been fun.
And I know when we talked a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, you said that in the offseason you really worked on your leadership. How have you seen that come to fruition so far in the early going of the season?
Today was honestly the first time I could say that I really stepped up as a leader and stuff like that. And I've been hard. I've been hard on myself about that. Today was a big game for us, and I knew I had to step up as a leader in every game going forward from now. So just building off this game and stuff like that.
How is this team different from last year?
Obviously we shoot the ball better, so we could start from there. We definitely got to work on the other end of the floor. I feel like once we get that down, it's going to be hard to beat us. We can score the ball now, so now once we put that same effort on defense, it's going to be a fun season.
Yeah, and how much does Coach allow you guys to shoot the rock?
Honestly, more than any coach I ever played for. He if you open, shoot it. That's his motto. If you open, shoot it. Play defense. Make sure we're getting the best shot, a good shot. We preach, let up a great one for a good one, stuff like that. So, if you open, shoot it.
Rob, just the way you guys closed out the game, after it got so tight, how proud of you are you?
Yeah, we need to get stops, and we got some huge stops down the stretch. Rico, Rob, those 2 guys defensively late in the game did a really good job around the basket. Cian throughout the course of the game did a good job. Morgan too. Rayvon, this is the first time he's been in a game late. So there's learning for him there. And then we put Jahari back in, and he made an awesome play defensively to make their offensive player spin and ended up with a turnover. So we closed out the game really well. We started the game really well. We defended at a level that's much more along the lines of where we need to be. The amount of offensive rebounds we gave up, getting out rebounded, certainly isn't what we're looking for. But we also had 22 assists tonight and 11 turnovers. We did a lot of things well against a really good program and a really good team. So they don't just have a good team; they have a good program too. And that's their coach, who I don't know him, but getting a chance to prepare for them and watching how they played. Like, they got down early, and a lot of teams are going to go away. They're not, because of the mentality that their group has. So I have a ton of respect for them and their program and their coach, and really proud of our guys because we responded. Because sometimes the game gets tight and it goes away from you, but we responded.
And then, Coach, you're about to take this team, a really young team, down to Greenbrier in West Virginia. And you're going to see a really nice program in the Cleveland State Vikings, the team that does pretty well in basketball historically. What are you telling your guys heading into this road trip, and what do you expect?
Yeah, the two things I really like about it is, one, we get to play back-to-back days, which is great for us because, again, in conference tournament play, you got to play 3 in a row. So your recovery and all those things are really good for preparation. And the other thing, and it's not planned, but the fact that we're playing Cleveland State on Saturday and then play them a week from then back here, it's not what I wanted, and I'm assuming it's not what he wanted, but it's what it is. And there's a lot of learning you can do from that too, because I remember a couple of years ago, we lost to Toledo the last regular season game and then played them the first game in the tournament and beat them. It was about a 30-point difference between the last regular season game. So, again, your mentality, and it's something I'll talk to these guys about as we prep for it, is you got to have a great mentality the first game, and then you have to have a great mentality regardless of outcome the next time we play them. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned, because I don't know who we end. I haven't looked this far ahead to see who do we end with our last week of MAC play, but we could very easily end up with, let's just say it's Eastern Michigan. I probably have to look, and then play them first round of the conference tournament, and you got to have that right mindset. So this is a good learning tool for a lot of reasons for us.
And then, Coach, you've been leading this program since 2011, but is there anything that still surprises you, especially after the first few games of the season?
No, nothing. I've been nothing surprises me. No, nothing surprises me. No. I wish there were surprises. Now, I have not seen it all, but I get close to it. And when you watch us play, sometimes in one game you could just about see it all in a game too. But it's always a lot of fun seeing the team grow. And I think over these 3 games, we've progressed over the 3 games, and that's what you're looking for. That's what the non-conference is for. That's what we're looking for, just in general, is growth and development over the course of the year. And I think we saw that certainly in this first 3 games.
Coach, this is obviously a really good non-conference game, maybe your second best behind Purdue. It just feels different watching this game. I came to a couple games last year. I'm going to steal a comment from Travis Steele. There's connectivity. It just seems like that this year more so than maybe last year. What would you say is different this year, kind of after 3 games, compared to maybe last season?
Yeah, I think this year, it's way too early for me to comment on that, because I thought our team was really connected last year. But it took us a while last year. And I'm sure it's going to take us a while this year in terms of developing an understanding of roles and accepting of roles. And, it was good to see the contributions by everybody tonight. I mean, you could put Des Briscoe, I'll use him for example, put him in the game. And he immediately had an impact on the game, blocking shots, running the floor, playing defense. Well, that's great to see, because he's only a freshman. The last game I started Omer, and he had 10 assists in the last game. Well, tonight Cian had 10 assists. So, the last game Morgan had 34, and tonight Quinn has 17. So, you know, there's we have a lot of good players, and, you know, seeing these guys get better is what I'm really looking for over the course of the year. And I hope that when you leave, you feel like we're connected, and I'm glad to hear you said that. We're trying to play a little bit faster offensively, and I'm losing myself a little bit on that, because that's scoring 100 is great. Giving up 100 isn't great, and we did that the first two games. This was much more along the lines of where we'd like to be defensively and where I think we need to be defensively. We got to clean up the rebounding a little bit. But it's great to see a lot of contributions. The end of the first half, he hit 2 threes when it got close, or closer, to make sure we had, a nice lead at halftime. Rob came in and finished a couple big plays around the basket. Hopefully we can continue to get better. I mean, that's really what we're looking to do. And they're a really good team, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because, again, I think a lot of our non-conference games are difficult. I think Troy is going to be at the top of their league. After beating us, they went and beat Furman 3 days later at Furman, who's another really, really good program. But, hopefully, if we can continue to get better, this game certainly can give our guys confidence, like, okay, we've got a pretty good team here. Now let's get better and do the things we need to do to be a good team. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Coach.